At the end of last session I asked you why parasites obey your commands. And you answered, because I have a soul. Give me more details on how this mechanism works. Well, so what?
Let's say, you have money. You get your paycheck. You know you can spend it on food and everything you want. Right? Your life depends on it at this moment. What you are going to wear, your transportation, how warm you'll be in the winter, your food, water, your happy kids. Right? For example, the government announces that your money is no longer worth anything today. The money manufacturer tells you that your money is worthless. Tell me, can you do anything in this situation?
No, I can't.
Here you go. Their money manufacturer tells them to stay still and not to move. That means that a being with a soul, using the power of its intent, can take all the energy back and limit the flow. Of course.
So, are we talking about energy? Can you energize them?
Yes, that's what you are doing. That's first. And second, you, as a being with a soul, use the power of your intent with your energy going through your soul. You create your intent, and this intent, in return, creates your reality. You build your reality. You influence their reality because they can't do it themselves. They build their reality by using you. Let's all be afraid of war. There will be war.
Why can't they create their own reality? They have energy they receive from outside. Can't they work with it as we do?
Well, for example, I have water in my house. It flows from the faucets. I can prepare a bath with salts. I can make soup. I can wash the cat with it. I give you 1 glass of water every day. Now you have a bathtub full of water. Now you can make a hot bath, use a bar of soap and wash your cat. But your resource is still limited, and mine is not.
I understood. When you interact with one of them, you are an energy source for this particular entity. That entity has a reserve of energy. A tank, figuratively speaking. He is hooked up to 40 people to feed him. And now you are saying you are not getting my energy. Also, you are saying you will not get the energy of my co-worker either because he permitted me to represent him.
I'm not violating his sovereignty. And speaking of those that you interact with somewhere else, I can't interfere. It's none of my business. I have no right to do that. I cannot violate their sovereignty. In this case, you unplug him from these 2 sources.
But in this case, you are saying everyone who touched my energy and energy of that person must appear here. That means your energy becomes part of him. Can you influence him through your energy?
No, he is in my field and my reality. Do you get it? As soon as he walks into my field, he is my property.
He falls under your control.
Yes. It's like intestinal worms and lice in the hair of a person. Can that person decide what to do with them?
Those are my worms and my lice. I can do whatever I want with them.
Yes. Of course. These are parasites living on my body and using my resources. Right? I can either continue ignoring them or remove them. It is not like I am removing them because I am a mean person.
They bother you in some way.
Because they are killing me. They don't just bother me. They are hurting my organism. I can control anything that is my field.
That is to say, touching your field they give you reverse access to them.
Yes. Of course.
The point of this question is that they give access.
They do not give access, they become dependent.
What happens in the case when energy gets into the storage? I believe it gets mixed in there. Energy of one person, one soul. In the tank, energies of one type get mixed in with energies of other types from different people.
Yes.
It is impossible to separate one from another. Right?
Yes.
When you bring all the entities that have ever touched the energy of a specific soul, most likely, billions of entities will show up because they touched that energy in the tank.
Yes.
Those who ate it out of the tank.
Firstly, energy mixed in tanks is not for food. It is only for manufacturing. Secondly, only the elite has access to places like this. Because to gobble everything and to give away, to feed someone they can.
Where do greys get their food? Where do they get their energy if they do not have access to this storage?
They are supplied with their percentage, they are shared directly in the form of concentrate.
Does it get mixed with the energy of other souls? Is it individual energy? What I'm trying to say, if energy from different souls get mixed and distributed as food to different greys, they can get.
Yes.
Is there any protocol in this case? Or system, or scheme?
They do not consume mixed energy.
Of course. Is that why they do not eat? Because of the consequences? Or they just simply do not do it? Why don't they eat?
It's like a trash container. It mixed like slops. It's for technical use. Do you understand?
So, they are foodies on top of that, aesthetics.
There are also technical concentrates that are not stored in a tank but collected from moving their astral projections.
Now, let's try to cover the topic of greys in a physical space, specifically, in the space around Earth. Tell me please, are ships seen by eyewitnesses physical or they have some different compositions?
Yes.
The ones that have been seen by physical eyes are all physical?
Yes.
They are present in physical space. The shape that was attributed to their ships. Triangle, cigar-shaped like, saucers and so on.
Yes, it all exists.
Are those all their objects or someone else is present on the territory of Earth?
There are lots of elements here. All those devices are physical. Some devices are produced by people on Earth. And there are physical apparatus made by other humanoids and brought for research purposes. Those are fished out later on.
What's the goal of appearing in the physical reality of the Earth?
Goals are different. Beings are allowed here as tourists, and then, on the way back, they get processed. Nobody, with a soul, lives place in a physical form.
How about greys on their objects?
Greys always have a global plan to influence something.
What processes do they control on Earth? Is it the weather, climate?
Essentially they manage all the processes as all human technologies are outdated technologies, inherited from greys. The information comes from different sources. Human climate control weapon can be easily taken over by greys in a matter of seconds. Nuclear weapons supposed to be controlled by the military, however, greys can intercept it at any moment. That is it. All of it is their technologies.
One more question about these objects. Tell me please, how often do they pilot these objects in their bodies, their skins? Whatever you call it.
By necessity.
Suppose, they need to collect some physical materials. They can do it using remotely controlled objects without risking their bodies, skins.
Yes. They can.
Why do they do it personally?
They think that there is zero risk here.
Do greys mine any minerals on Earth? Do they extract other natural resources besides energy?
Everything that could have been mined is extracted a long time ago. There is nothing left. They are not interested in Earth. It is empty.
Do greys install implants in the physical bodies of humans? Or have they installed them before? What was their goal?
There was a period when they installed physical implants.
What kind of period was it? What did they want to receive as a result?
First that came to my mind is, analog of implants.
How did these implants affect people?
It is like a remote control. They would become like, just like TV is controlled by remote control. Human is controlled via this implant.
Why did they abandon this program?
Too obvious. It is possible to take them out, to remove them.
Have these implants been discovered, examined? Maybe they are still stored somewhere?
Yes. They have been.
Have conclusions been made about this? Or this information was hidden and classified?
The way I see, they did not understand how it works. They understood the composition. And most of the list of materials and elements didn't have earthly origins. It was quickly classified. They couldn't understand what to do with it at all.
Haven't they figured out to this day what kind of mechanism it is, what to do with it? Maybe what kind of technologies?
They figured out. Do you think your bank card with chip works based on human technologies? With chip?
No. So, are you trying to say that all achievements in computer technologies, radio electronics, and all high-tech, it is mostly the achievement of GREYS?
Yes.
Haven't humans achieved anything on their own?
Let's take humans for example. Humans can reproduce, go to the bathroom, love, feel joy, wink without the help of all those things, without fifth iPhone, without induction stoves. They can start a fire. Right? Can we grill meat? We can kill mammoths without a hydrogen bomb. Indeed, we can provide for ourselves.
We can.
But replace concepts in our society and women no longer can live without an ultrasound, they cannot give a birth to a healthy child and so on.
Why not? They can, it's just safer. Diagnostics help us to see in advance.
Yes? But first, you vaccinate that woman in childhood so you can later diagnose her with something. Your body has everything to bear healthy children, not deformed children. Without all kinds of mutations, diseases, without genetic digression. Your organism is perfect.
Wait a second. Now you are saying that all progress was initiated by someone from outside. But it's not quite like that. You are talking about high-tech.
It's not that.
If we talk about steam locomotive, it is the same story, but a bit more simple. And you think that people made it up themselves? Even the wheel was a tip?
Look, when the first trains appeared. Steam locomotives. Right? Only the elite was using them. This kind of progress is very beneficial. First, it takes a person away from personal development. Knowing physics and mathematics in volumes you do not need, there is nothing cool about that. First, they keep you in school for 12 years and then 5 years in university, giving you the volume of knowledge of professional. Same thing with progress. They are leading you away. You can call me, your mom or dad, for example, and ask them how they are doing on the phone. Also, you have Facebook, Twitter and lots of other useless junk. It's useless for your personality, but if you were developing outside of technological progress, you would be able to use telepathy. You'd know how your parents are doing anyway. Right? But you are focused on external thing that is telling you if you will have a conversation with your parents today, or not. Due to unavailable connection. If you were developing on your own, it would just come out of you. You would be able to live without those external things.
I understand. But let's take the development of the GREYS civilization. Nobody pushed them, nobody substituted their values.
It is just a way of development. One civilization chooses a spiritual way of development, another one a technological way. They chose the way of technologies and gave us no choice. They said, "Look, a wheel."
No, wait. I mean their civilization. Did they develop to the technological level all by themselves?
Yes, they did it by themselves. And nobody pushed them. It is because it is easier to idealize external than internal.
You are saying that there is natural technological development. But in our case, the initiation of this process on Earth was external.
Yes, quickly to trick people into submission. If a person developed independently, he would develop seeing astral realms. And a person would see very quickly that something is wrong here. It is the diversion of attention.
Tell me, what has changed for the past 20 years? The way I see, it is a phase of extreme growth of technologies, science, and engineering. Growth of computer electronics, high tech. What is happening? why breakthrough has happened. Is it also an external influence? If so, what is the goal?
It's important to automate all the processes and later on, to automate natural processes in the human body.
What do they prepare us for?
They prepare us for better control, for total submission. For instance, you are eating tomatoes, right? Or watermelon. You are saying this tomato is tasty, no nitrates, straight from the garden, and this one is yucky, it's full of pesticides and nitrates, tasteless, without any smell. That is how you see the difference, the quality of your produce. If you eat powder, you do not. You have been told, listen, throw away all the tomatoes. They are not that great. We are giving you clean food, all daily microelements, and vitamins. Just think how much time you waste on cooking, eating, ordering food, dining out. Go to a restaurant with your family on the weekend. You will enjoy it, get your euphoria from the same meat or zucchini, wine or juice. Do not waste your time on a weekday. Take a pill in the morning, or mix your powder in water, drink it. Everything is great, and you're good to go for the day. The next morning get up and do the same. People will not be fat or skinny. Everyone will be normal. Everything will be wonderful. Everything is balanced according to your wearable device. Your calories, your needs will be calculated for a day. There you go. Your pill for today. Everything your body needs. And later on, they will add to that pill something you are not aware of. If you try tomatoes and said I'm not eating this, you won't notice anything wrong with that pill. I used food for example, but it's about everything. Consciousness becomes neutralized. All natural processes are neutralized.
In perspective, it looks like the Matrix movie. Everyone is in its capsule, fed by some crap. Everything is automated, and only consciousness is energized by necessary emotions.
Yes, because it is enough to give the current pulse to produce emotions for your consciousness. For example, we are watching a movie that has a plot. People are not really in it. It is not their real life, but we cry and laugh with them. Right?
Yes, we get involved. Of course.
Or you have a social media account with 1,500 friends, who told you how horrible you look on that picture. Most likely it is 1,000 or 500 people you do not even know. You do not care about their opinion, because they are not part of your life. But you think they are, cause they give you likes or comments. Do you understand? The society is controlled maybe by 1,500 robots, that are made by non-humans.
I see. Where are they leading the Earth? What is their final plan for humans?
No, it's one of the options. Do you know how many options they have? Every kind of entity has its own plan.
I see. Now, the final question of today's session. Tell me, please. Have humans been abducted physically before? Is it still happening today? If yes, why?
I do not see them to be interested in our physical bodies. We are doing a good job of installing implants ourselves. There was time when it was important and needed for researches, when experiments were done not only on the body but on the psyche and human essence as well. When they did experiments on all the parts of a human. Lots of work has been done. There is no point anymore.
There is some data. Was it a long period?
Yes. It stopped relatively recently. Let's put it this way. With the fast development of new technologies, there is no more need to influence each person individually.
What particular technologies?
Everything. Starting with the water supply system, treatment facilities, climate weapons, nanotechnologies, chemtrails, mind control towers, cell phone network, internet, home appliances.
Tell me please, if greys can, in any way, be born into a human body or possess a human body?
No.
They do not have access.
They move into bodies, but they are working as machine operators. They cannot take consciousness under their control, only body. But reptilians take consciousness under control and operate it as if it is a suit.
What lets reptilians have such control, and why greys cannot do it?
They cannot absorb consciousness.
Greys?
Yes.
What does it mean to absorb consciousness?
They fill the human body with their own entity, and they become a barrier between body and soul.
Nataly, thank you very much. It was very interesting. Let's go back.